you are just joining me on YouTube, please don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell to get notified the next time we're doing a video. We would be greatly appreciating that for sure. We're trying to grow our subscription. Again, completely free. We're coming to you live every week. Content. And now we're going to be talking about seller financing, so you're going to want to be sticking around. We're going live on Facebook. We're going live on the Facebook page. We're going live on Instagram now live. We are talking vendor take back, seller financing. How does it work? How does it work? How can you use it? Why you would use it? How you would use it. We are live on many of the platforms. Facebook business page. We're live right into Instagram. We are live right on YouTube. So if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, hello. Hey, please, I would appreciate it as you guys are coming in. Please wave, say hi to me. Hello. Good to see everybody. Wow, I see a lot of you on YouTube right now. I see a lot of you here on Instagram. We're talking about seller financing, because I know you guys have a lot of questions about seller financing. Now, I'll tell you where this comes from. In the industry, I am known for doing a lot. Hello, Julie. I'm known for doing a lot of creative deals. And so if you want to be creative with your real estate, if you want to learn how to buy real estate without going to the banks, without having to, put up all of your assets, if you want to learn how to buy apartment buildings, you're going to want to stick around. Hello, Margaret. Good to see everybody. As you're coming in, I would appreciate thumbs up, love, share. I see a lot of you guys are live here on YouTube. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the share button, subscribe, connect with me on Instagram. We are talking about vendor takebacks, seller financing, how you can buy real estate and having the seller, think about this, having the seller finance your next deal. Now, I've been doing this for a long time, 20 years, and I got really into vendor takebacks back in 2004, where I was having challenges qualifying for mortgages. Okay, so if you're having those same challenges, this might be for you. This might be an option for you. If you are having challenges with coming up with cash, this could be a really great scenario for you. You can get into a deal with a very low down payment. I've done deals that are 90% vendor takebacks, 100% vendor takebacks, 150% vendor takebacks. Well, we'll talk about that. Good to see you, David. David Shapiro's in the house. What's going on? Yes. I'm in the business page. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm on YouTube. If you guys have a question as we're going through this, please, write it in the comments. Okay, write it in the comments. Later, it got really huge. 2008 came, and I was in the apartment building space, and money disappeared from the market. Money just disappeared from the market. And so we had to get creative. A lot of people back in 2008, 2009 got creative when we hit in the U.S. It was a market crash. In Canada, it was a market correction. And during these times, people can get very creative. Now, with all the things that are going on with COVID, it's even more impactful now than ever before. Why is that? Well, lenders are taking longer to do mortgages, and so sometimes it's easier to go with seller financing. And so there's a lot of good qualities about it, and so let's get right to it. If you have questions, make sure to write your questions. Make sure to comment in the down below. Make sure to give me the thumbs up. Make sure to wave at me. Good to see you. There's a few of you guys on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and the Facebook business page. If you want to go directly and follow us on High Impact Business Exchange Network on Facebook, you can catch it live right there as well. All right, my friends. Vendor takebacks. One of my favorite subject matters. I love vendor takebacks. If you love vendor takebacks, if you love seller financing, I want you to hit the thumbs up. I want to see all the love, the hearts, if you love vendor takebacks. So what is a vendor takeback? What is it? Okay, so we'll talk about what is it? What is it? Most people don't know. Vendor takeback is when the seller assists the buyer in purchasing the property by offering seller financing. The seller helps out the buyer by offering financing on the deal. And so often this represents a secondary position mortgage, a vendor take back mortgage. The seller takes back the mortgage, but a lot of the times it can be a first position mortgage. So for example, if you're buying a property for $100,000, if you're buying a property, let's say 100K, okay, 100K. So let's say you have the $20,000, okay. Let's say you have the $20,000, or let's say the $20,000 you're going to get it from another source. You could go to the seller and say, now here's some requirements. The seller should have the $80,000 available in equity. But you could go to the seller and say, hey, how about we do a vendor take back? So the seller could give you a vendor take back mortgage. And so he goes on first position, and either you bring the $20,000 equity, or you can borrow the $20,000. Now you're fully 100% financed, and now you can go back to the banks or a B lender or a C lender, and now do a refinance, because it's easier for you to buy the property and get financed on the property when you already own the property. So this could be a really great way for you to buy the property quickly, and not have to take all the time that all the lenders take nowadays. Now, what is it? Again, this is when the seller. Thank you. I really do appreciate the love, guys. If you are enjoying this right here, I want to see the thumbs up. I want to see the hearts, and I want to know if you would enjoy, or if you would be in a position to enjoy a vendor take back mortgage. Now, what is it? Why is this good? Well, you don't have to apply for a mortgage, right? So if you're having some credit issues, or you don't have a lot of money to put down, you could be in a position to negotiate a vendor take back deal. Now, I've done them all across the country, from all the way from Alberta all the way down to the East Coast, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia. And so I want you to really, really think about a vendor take back, and we're going to talk about that. And if you want to know more information on how this works, I have no problem getting on a call with you guys, going through a vendor take back. Make sure you send me a direct message, and we can have that discussion on how you can apply a vendor take back strategy to your business. Okay, so send me a direct message. If you're on YouTube, send me a message, or leave me just reach out through the comments, or reach out to me on any social media platform. So now here's another reason. Here's another question I have. Why now? Why now? Why is this important right now? Well, there's two things. Because of COVID, there's the lenders are being very picky, and they're taking longer to qualify people on mortgages. So what does this mean? If you're in a position where you're negotiating and you want to close quickly, this could be an option. Now, there's also markets, secondary and tertiary markets, where you just limit the amount of lenders. Now, you could go to a credit union, you could go to a private financer, RSP, but there's also some benefits to the seller as well, and it's definitely a really great option to do a vendor take back. Now, if you're a young person just getting started, 20 years old, 21 years old, well, this is a really great option because you don't have to qualify for the mortgage. You may or may not need any down payment depending on how you negotiate the vendor take back. So we're going to go through all that today, and if you want, you can reach out to me, send me an email, send me a direct message, and I have no problem going through, and you can show me your deal. We can go through a strategy session, and I can show you how to activate the vendor take back power into your deal. Now, here's another thing. When to ask, and that's important. Most people don't know when to ask for a vendor take back. Most people, they'll watch a video like this or they'll watch some content like this and they'll just go right for the VTB. And the way I put it is it's the equivalent of that 17-year-old kid trying to go to third base when he hasn't even gone to first base. And so you don't want to be so anxious, and at the very beginning of the relationship when you're trying to do a discovery call with the agent or the seller, that's not the right time. It's not the right time to ask at the very beginning of the transaction. You're going to scare everybody off, and everybody's just going to tell you to go take that somewhere else. So there is a right time. There is a right time to ask for a vendor take back, and that is once you've gotten to know the realtor and you've gotten to know the seller, and you've built in likability, respect, logic, and reason, where they know that you are legitimate with that request, and this request now it can be positioned in a way to help the seller close this transaction. And so that leads me to the next point. The next point is all about the benefits. So what are the benefits? What are the benefits? What are the benefits to the seller? So if you're taking notes, what are the benefits to the seller? Well, as you guys know, a lot of people want to avoid taxes, right? And we're not avoiding taxes, we're just deferring taxes. So if you're buying an apartment building of 30 units or 40 units, and you see that the seller bought this transaction a very long time ago, the chances are through the years the accountant has probably depreciated that asset. And let's call that asset $1 million. $1 million asset that is completely depreciated down to zero. Do you know, and I'm not an accountant, so you can definitely refer to an accountant on this, I'm just speaking from my own experience, but do you know that that particular $1 million paid off asset is subject to capital gains once you trigger a sale? And so once you trigger a sale, $500,000 of that asset is now subject to capital gains. Now, it really depends on where you fall in the income bracket, but $500,000 you pretty much are going to be at a 50% tax bracket. Please consult with your accountant. I'm just sharing this from my experience. And so now at a 50% tax bracket, that's $250,000. Now, and I want to see, you got your comments here. I'm going to read them down. I'm reading them in just a moment. I want you to see, there's a lot of you on YouTube right now, and a lot of you guys on Instagram. I want to see who, by thumbs up, give me thumbs up if you would like to save $250,000. I want to see comments, likes. Who would love, yes, waves, whatever you got. Who would love to save $250,000? I want to see it. I got you guys here on YouTube. Who would love to save $250,000? Who would love to save that? Yes, I'm seeing the love. Saving the money. Ed says, save me money, okay? So everybody, that's logical, right? But at the very beginning, what happens, if you come to the table and say, guys, you know what? I want to do a VTB. Like, you're coming from a perspective that you don't have the money to close. So you're coming from a very weak perspective. And so I want you to come from a strong position. I want you guys to be strong, and when you are presenting this vendor take back and you're showing all the benefits, like the biggest benefit is saving that money to the seller. That's $250,000. $250,000 that you can save for your seller. Now, here's the other benefit. He gets to sell the property. He saves $250,000. He can defer that tax, right? So he's deferring it for 5 years into the future. He gets to make the sale, right? So he can be relieved from this building. He gets to relieve himself from that asset, and also, most importantly, guess what? He's making interest on his deal. So he's saving capital gains. He's making extra money on the money he would have not known what to do with that money, or he had other reasons to other ways that he wanted to invest that money, but nowhere near what you could possibly offer him on a VTB. And so that is important for you to describe the benefits to the seller. Now, here's something. The position of the money. The position of the money is extremely important. Now, what do I mean by that? First, second position. I often get a lot of people, they call me and they get very excited. They're like, Alfonso, I negotiated an amazing vendor take back deal. It's $1 million deal. He's going to do $200,000 vendor take back, and he's going to take a first position. He'll do a first position vendor take back. And my answer is always going to be, that's horrible, because who is going to be the second lender, and who wants to be in second position? That $800,000 to you is going to get very costly. So what I would have done, I would have negotiated, on that $1 million deal, I would have negotiated $200,000 vendor take back deal on a second position. That leaves the first position available to you to go to a major lender or get some other source of funding on your deal. So the position is important. Now, most often, the vendor take back is a second position mortgage in order to help you with some down payment money. My favorite is to do the bulk of the mortgage as a first position 80 or 90 or even 100% vendor take back deal. So on a 90-10, right? So 90-10 LTV, loan to value. That means on a $1 million deal, that means the seller takes back a mortgage of $900,000. So that means you have to come to the table with $10,000. Now, I've done deals where the seller takes back 100% of a mortgage. So the seller actually finances you the entire purchase, finances the entire purchase, and we transfer title. Title goes into your name, and you just pay every single month, just like a regular mortgage. Now, this can get very complicated, and if you want to, I don't mind, guys. I'm here to help everybody on my Instagram. If you want to just, send me a DM, and we'll get on a call together. I can go through some strategies, and this this can be extremely impactful. For me, I use it to buy apartment buildings, but the vendor take back mortgage can work for anyone. And so what's the process? The process works the same as if you're buying a property, right? You put the deal under contract, you negotiate the deal, you're still going to have inspection, phase one environmental. Now I'm speaking about apartment buildings because that's my MO. I'm buying apartment buildings all across Canada. But it's a simple process just like you would buy any other property, except, and you go to the accountant, you go to the lawyer, he transacts, you are there, you sign, the title is in your name, except for instead of RBC Bank or Scotia Bank, the mortgage is going to come from the seller. Now here's something to remember. In order for this to work, you need to know exactly if the seller has the equity available, right? He can only lend you what he has available in equity. For example, if there's a first mortgage, if there's already a mortgage on the property, then it's going to be very difficult for him to do that. Now, my strategy has been, okay, let me assume that first mortgage, and then can I get a vendor take back from for the difference? That's another video. We'll talk about that in the future. If you want to know more, you can go to my YouTube channel. I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos there where I talk about all kinds of things that are related to real estate. But the process is very much like anything else. Now, if you guys have credit issues, if you're young, if you're young investors, if you are short on capital, the vendor take back mortgage can be a really great lucrative way for you guys to get into real estate. Michael talks about VTBs, and I love that. If you guys have questions, I'll answer them. Let me see if I can see some question. No mortgage. Does the seller have to fully own the property? Yes. Someone's asking about if the seller has to fully own the property. Yes, the seller has to fully own the property. Let me see. Michael says, VTBs, did Christian and I give you the idea for this video? Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Just the other day, someone was asking me about VTBs, and I said, maybe I'll do a video. Thank you. Great question. Great question. Let me see if I can find more questions here. What are the mortgage rates for B and C lenders? That's another thing. We didn't talk about what kind of rates. So if you're doing vendor take back mortgages, if it's a first position 80 to 90 loan to value, I would say between 3 and 5% is reasonable. If it's a second position mortgage, I would say anything from 5 to 10 is reasonable to negotiate on a vendor take back mortgage. Terms can be 2 to 3 to 4 years. I've done 5-year terms, right? Amortized over 25 years. Often it can be, if it's a short term, it could be interest only. So that's a really great question. Going back to B and C lenders, they're above. They're going to be above 5%. Let me see here. Hello. Good to see everyone. Look at you guys. Wow. I want to see on Instagram if you guys have any questions. If you guys have any questions on Instagram, can you please save this video on your page? Yes, I will save that video on my page. How do you find owners with paid properties? Yeah, so someone is asking, how do I know when the owner has paid for the properties, okay? Or has the property fully paid? And so this goes back to when to ask, right? You don't ask. It's not like you're going out there looking for a vendor take back. That is not what you're doing. What happens, the vendor take back comes about as you are going through the deal and you're doing your discovery about the deal. You may have it on the contract, or you may just be doing a simple discovery. And you start to discover all the needs of the seller, and you start to discover that, hey, the seller has a property paid off. Now, if you have access to someone that has access to the geo warehouse, you can find out that the property has no mortgages on it. But that's a really good question. I simply ask, is there any debt on the property? Right? Is there a mortgage on the property? And if the answer is yes, I'm going to say, well, how much is that mortgage? So that's a really great question. Currently 80-20 at 3% for 5 years. Marco says he already has a vendor take back. Yeah, so I'll tell you, I've done 100% vendor take back deals. 100%. That means I show up to the lawyer's office and I simply pay for the closing costs, and that property is mine and the seller is financing me. Second mortgages, and that was a question earlier. They were talking about, is it difficult to get financing on a deal that has a second mortgage, second VTB? Now, yes, it's true. The rules are tightening, and it will limit the amount of lenders that you can go to, but it doesn't exclude everyone. So you can go to credit unions, you can go to some B lenders, private lenders, RSP lenders. So there's many different lenders out there that would lend money to you if you have a vendor take back mortgage. And once you close on the transaction, you can take your time, improve the performance of the property, increase the value, and then later on do a refi and pay out the first mortgage and the vendor take back mortgage, or the full vendor take back mortgage. Is really a great option. Let me see here. Let me see what other questions we got. Let me see. Save me money. Ruth says save me money. Absolutely. Gutang says looking good, sir. Thanks for coming up with the VTB topic. Yes. If you guys have topics that you want me to talk about, write them down below. I'll look through all the comments. Make sure if you are watching this in the future, comment down below. Comment down below, and I'll make sure to answer your questions. Let me see what I got here as well. How do you find the owners? Or how to negotiate a VTB deal with more discount? Okay, guys, come on. You can't have everything. Now, it's true. You could get a discount if there's something up with the property. But if usually, I don't mind going up in price as long as the numbers make sense. I don't mind paying fair market value for a property if the seller is gonna finance me 100%. Okay? If the seller is giving me a mortgage, that makes my life a lot easier, right? I don't have to go to the bank. I don't have to go through all the application process. I don't gotta wait 2 months to get approved and get my money. I can just go right away and close on that transaction because the seller is helping me. So the question was, how can I get also a discount? Well, I think you gotta pick your battles, and I'd rather pay just a little bit more if I'm getting a really great vendor take back mortgage, if the numbers make sense. And so if you want to learn more, simply send me a DM. I'll show you how to negotiate, and we could talk about if you have a specific deal right now that you're working on. Hey, send me a DM. We'll get together at my earliest convenience. We'll figure out if we jump on a Zoom together, and let's talk about VTBs. Let me see if you have any more questions. How do you discover fair market value of a property? Yeah, so he's asking about how do I discover a fair market value of a property? I would simply get an appraisal, right? I get an appraisal. The appraisal number one, and number two is the numbers. The numbers need to make sense. If you're wondering how that works, hey, send me a DM. We'll discuss it. We'll discuss it further. All right, guys. I'm going to sign off here on the Facebook page. I'm going to sign off. I'm going to sign off on Instagram. All right, guys. Really great to see everybody. If you have a subject matter that that you want me to talk about, Oh, here's another question. How long do you take to pay the vendor take back full amount? Okay, so basically it's like a mortgage, right? So you have, it can be 25-year amortized, it can be amortized over 25 years, but the term can be for 5 years. After 5 years, you can refi the property with another lender, like a bank or a B lender or a private lender. You don't have to keep that vendor take back on there for a while. All you got to do is have a plan, an exit strategy, how you're going to pay them off. Can you tell us about the very first VTB you ever did? Oh, my friends, that's gonna have to be a long story. I've already been on here for almost an hour. No, you know what? I want by show of likes and hearts on YouTube or Facebook. Is this a subject matter that you want me to talk about again? Give me the likes, give me the hearts, give me the love, show me the love. If you want me to talk about this again, yes. Okay, so I will bring it again. You guys can, feel free to go on my YouTube channel. I have lots of content there. Alfonso Quadra on YouTube. Subscribe, is free. We will see you guys later. I will bring that back. See you guys. Okay. And I will log off here on Facebook as well. Goodbye, guys. Good to see you. And YouTube, Alfonso loves you. Don't forget to subscribe, and we will see you at the top. Purpose powerful enough will make you unstoppable.